Well, it's a great privilege to be with you again this afternoon.
很荣幸今天下午能够在一起。
I think that we lost the microphone, so I'm going to be using this.
我们丢失了麦克风，所以我得用这个方法。
I think it's supposed to go around my head, but it makes me feel like a horse, so I'm just going to hold it.
本来应该挂在我脖子上，好像一只马一样，所以我干脆用手拿。
A horse or a rock star, and I am neither.
我又不是个这个摇滚乐明星，也不是只马，我就用手拿吧。
In the last 2 days, we have been talking about the perfections of God.
过去2天我们都在讲论神的完美，
Specifically, the perfections of God's will.
特别是神的旨意的完善，
Because His will is perfect,
因为他的旨意是全被完善的。
and because He is worthy of our devotion,
因为他配得我们的敬拜爱戴，
we should no longer do what is right in our own eyes,
我们就不应该再凭自己的意思任意妄为了。
but we should devote ourselves to the doing of His will.
我们应该全心的来执行他的旨意。
Most, if not all, Christians would agree with that statement.
大多数，如果不是所有的基督徒，都应该同意这句话。
The problem in Christianity today
今天基督教最大的问题呢，
is that we neglect the means through which His will is made known.
我们忽略了他把他旨意显明的途径，
The Word of God.
就是神的话语。
When the Word of God is neglected,
当神的话语被忽略的时候，
there is one primary reason.
有一个主要的原因。
Now, you're not going to like this, but it's true.
也许你不喜欢这个原因，但是事实就是如此。
When the Word of God is neglected,
当神的话语被忽略的时候，
it is primarily because of the inflated minds of the believers.
最主要是因为信徒的自以为是的思想，他以为他懂得更多，自以为聪明。
Paul talks about this in the book of Colossians,
保罗在哥罗西书讲到这一点，
that instead of holding to Christ and holding to Christ's Word,
与其持定元首和元首耶稣基督的话，
men of inflated minds were giving more precedent to their visions and their own opinions.
人的自以为聪明的理性就抓住他们的意向和自己的想法跟哲理。
If the church is ever going to be strong,
如果教会要强壮的话，
her leaders and her members must return to the Word of God.
教会的领袖和教会的弟兄姊妹必须回归神的话。
We must find our path not by listening to culture,
我们必须不是听文化怎么说，要找到道路，
not by listening to so-called prophets,
不是听所谓的先知预言的话，不，
and not by listening to our own hearts.
也不是听我们自己的心里怎么想的，不。
We can find God's path only through His written Word.
我们唯有借着他经上所记的话，找到道路。
And so last night I urged you, I begged you to recommit your life to the study of Scriptures.
所以昨天晚上我劝勉你，我恳求你要回归圣经，要研读他的话语。
Now this afternoon we're going to change our theme.
好，今天下午我们要换个主题，
And we're going to talk about another attribute of God.
我们要讲论神的另一个品格，另一个属性，
God is eternal.
就是神是永恒的。
Now we're going to look at some verses that testify to the eternality of God.
我们要看一些经文证明了神的永恒性，
And then we're going to look at why is that important for us.
然后我们再看看为什么神的永恒性跟我们息息相关，如此重要。
Now,
好，
let me start by saying this.
让我们开始先说
One of the most amazing truths about God is that He is eternal.
关乎神的其中一个最主要的、最重要的属性，就是它的永恒性。
That He has no beginning and no end.
它是无始也无终的，
He simply is.
它是永恒的。
He was,
它是
He
昨日
is,
也在，它今在。
and He will be.
也是永在的神。
Now, when we talk about creation
当我们讲到神的所造之物
and the evidences of God,
和神的证明，
sometimes the argument is used that the world with design demands that there be a creator who is a designer.
有人会用这个世界所造之物证明世界的这些设计，就证明了有一个设计师，有个创造者。
Now that's a good argument.
这是一个很合逻辑的一个推理。
But the unbeliever will often respond by saying this.
但是不信的人往往会这样回应啊。
If creation demands a creator,
如果所造之物必须有一位创造者，
then the existence of a creator demands another creator
那么这位创造者必须还有一位创造者的创造者，
that will demand another creator.
还需要更高的创造者。
And so your argument is false.
所以你的推论是不合逻辑的，
But they're not understanding the Christian argument.
但是他们不明白我们基督徒的推理。
And since this is so important, I just want to take a side door for a moment and talk about this.
既然这是非常重要，我就暂时就转移话题，先讲论这个主题啊。
I want you to look in the book of Romans, chapter
看
1.
罗马书第1章。罗马书有圣经的，请翻到罗马书第1章
In verse 18,
18节。
For the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men who suppress the truth in unrighteousness.
原来神的愤怒从天上显明在一切不虔不义的人身上，就是那行不义、阻挡真理的人。
Now, Paul is going to argue that all men know of the existence of God.
保罗要在这里辩论啊，所有的人都知道神的存在的事实。
So someone would say, if all men know, then why do some men deny the existence of God?
也许有人就会问了，那既然所有人都知道呢，为什么有人会否定神存在的事实呢？
Paul says it has nothing to do with the intellect,
保罗说这个跟理性没有关系，
but has everything to do with the moral nature of man.
乃是跟人的道德的本性有关。
That fallen man is radically depraved.
堕落的人是全然
He
堕
loves,
落的，
he loves the evil and hates the good.
他喜好邪恶，不喜好良善。
And since God is good,
既然神是良善的，
man does not want him,
人就不愿意亲近他，
does not want his law.
人就不要神的律法。
And therefore, because of the ungodliness and unrighteousness of men,
因此，因着人的不虔不义，
they suppress or hold down that which they know is true.
他就阻挡或者是压抑真理。
They know that God is true,
他们明明知道神是真理，
but they try to block it out of their mind.
但是他们试图要把这一切都置之脑后。
And they invent reasons in order to deny
他
him.
们就发明一些理由、逻辑来否定神的存在。
It's kind of like the man who buries his head in the sand
就像那个鸵鸟一样，把头埋在沙土里头，
to escape a charging rhino.
来逃脱正在冲向他的rhino 河马还是什么犀牛。
Now let's go on.
好
Verse 19.
19节。
Because that which is known about God is evident within them, for God made it evident to them.
好，神的事情，人所能知道的，原来显明在人心里，因为神已经给他们显明。
Now theologians are divided here in verse 19.
19节啊，神学家在这里有不同的见解。
Some believe that Paul is just saying this.
有些人相信呢，保罗在说，
All men know God exists because they can see it through creation.
所有的人因着所造之物都知道神的存在。
But some men, theologians, believe that it's saying more.
但是有一些神学家认为，有些人呢更多。
And I would agree with the latter group.
我会同意着后者。
Paul is saying that all men know of God's existence because God made it evident within them.
保罗在这说所有的人知道神的存在，因为神已经给他们在里面心里面给他们显明了。
I believe that God is speaking of an inherent knowledge of God that is born or found in every one of us.
我相信保罗在说神在人的天良里头，在他的良心里头，他天然就知道神的存在，本能的直觉的知道他的存在。
Since we were created by God,
既然我们是神所造的，
it makes sense that His fingerprints would be within us and upon us.
这很明显，神的这很合乎逻辑的，他的手印会在我们的心上，也在我们的身上。
Men are born with the knowledge of God.
人天生就直觉的知道有神。
And it is only in their radical depravity that they seek later on to suppress that knowledge.
人在他的全然堕落中，他就想方设法要压抑他的直觉。
But when we get to verse 20,
当我们看到第20节的时候，
Paul is no longer talking about the inherent knowledge of God.
保罗这里不是在讲我们这本能的良心的里对神的认识。
But he is also talking about creation
他也在谈论所造之物
that testifies to what God has already put in our heart, that God exists.
所造之物也在外证，从外头证明了神已经放在我们里面的对神的认识。
So to summarize it, it would be like this.
我们就总结
Inherently, we know God exists.
我们本能的知道神的存在，良心里知道。
And then when we look out at creation,
当我们向外看到神所造的万物的时候，
creation testifies to the same thing.
所造之物也印证了我们心里面的直觉。
God exists.
的确，神存在。
The design and complexity of creation proves that there has to be a creator.
所造之物的复杂和它的设计精巧，都证明了神的存在。必须有一位设计者、创造者。
Now, as I have said,
正如我所说的，
the unbeliever will often respond,
不信的人往往会回应
your argument is false.
你的推论不合乎逻辑。
Because if creation demands a creator,
因为如果所造之物必须有个创造者的话，
then there also must be a creator who made the creator.
必须有个更高的创造者，有创造的这个创造者。
But that argument does not hold up.
但是这样的逻辑，这样的推论站不住。
Because of verse 20.
因为20节。
For since the creation of the world, His invisible attributes, His eternal power and divine nature have been clearly seen, being understood through what has been made, so that they are without excuse.
20节，自从造天地以来，神的永能和神性是明明可知的，虽然眼不能见，但借着所造之物就可以晓得，叫人无可推诿。
What is Paul saying?
保罗在说什么呢？
When you and I look at creation,
当你我看到所造之物、大自然的时候，
we see something with incredible design.
我们看到哇，那个难以置信的那个设计的精巧。
For us, it is infinitely complex.
对我们来说呢，是无限的复杂。
But also, when we look at creation,
同时，当我们看到所造之物，
we see that it has no power to create itself.
我们看到它本身没有能力创造自己出来。
We don't see an intellect in creation
我们看到这个所造之物本身没有理智，
that
没有理性，
creation itself possesses.
它本身没有这个理性创造它自己。
We don't see eternity in creation.
我们在所造之物里头看不到永恒的影子。
We know there was a time when it did not
我
exist.
们知道，曾经有一度这个所造之物是不存在的。
When we look at creation,
当我们看到所造之物，
we see none of the power that is required for creation to have come into existence.
我们看到它没有能力来创造它自己。
So there has to be someone outside of
所以
creation,
在所造之物之外，必须有个能力来造它，
a creator
就是一个创造主，
who is uncreated.
这是 非受造的创造主
who exists,
他存在，
has always existed,
他总是存在，
is not dependent upon another creator.
他不是依靠另外一个创造主来造
And
他，
in him
在他自己里面，
is found the intellect.
在他里面有理性，
In him is found the power.
在他里面有能力，
In him is found the eternal existence
在他里面有那永恒的属
that
性，
is not found anywhere else.
而是其他所造之物是没有的，
And that's God.
他就是神了。
When we look at the world,
当我们看这个世界，
we see that it is not uncaused. It was caused by someone.
我们看到它不是没有因由无缘无故产生，乃是有一个创造者，
And that someone
所以那个创造者呢，
is the uncaused God of the Bible,
就是圣经里头那自由拥有的神，
who is totally independent,
他是完全独立的，
totally self-existent,
是自由拥有的，
who is infinitely wise,
他是无限的智慧，
and has existed forever.
他是永恒存在的。
This is one of the reasons why the eternality of God is so important.
因此，神的永恒性才如此重要。
Remember what I said about God in the first evening that we were teaching.
记得吗？我们第一个晚上的时候，我们教导有关神的时候，
God
我讲到
God is not like us, just bigger.
神不是跟我们同类的，我们同类当中大一点的而已。不，
God is not like us at all.
神根本就不像我们一样。
When you have an orange
当有一个橘子，
and a larger orange,
大一点的橘子，
there is a quantitative difference.
是有一个量的不同，对不对？
But when you have an orange
但有一个橘子
and an apple,
和一个苹果的时候，
there is a qualitative
这有一个
difference.
值的不同了，对不对？
That doesn't even begin to describe the difference between God and His
那
creation.
这个的不同根本就不能够形容所造之物跟创造者，就上帝的跟我们之间的不同。
Now, with regard to God's eternal
好，
existence,
论到神的永恒性，
there was never a time when God did not exist.
从来没有一度历史中神不存在的那一刻，没有，
There will never be a time when His existence comes to an end.
也不会有它的存在不存在的那一刻。
He is before all things, and He will remain when all things have passed away.
他是在万物之先，当万物都毁掉之后，他仍然还是存在的。
But there's something else you must understand about His eternality.
但还有一件事情要明白它的永恒性啊，
He not only
它
remains,
不仅仅存在，
but He remains the same.
而且它是一样的存在，
He does not
它
change.
永不改变。
The word we use is immutable.
我们所用那个词啊，就神的不变性，
He is without change.
就是他是不改变的那一位，
He cannot get better
他不可能进步的变好一点，
because He is already perfect.
因为他已经完美了。
He cannot become
他
less
也不可能变得糟糕一点，变得
because
少一
then
点，
he would cease being God.
因为如果这样的话，他就不是神了。
Now, the fact that He remains unchanged
哦，他不改变的这个事实
is extremely important.
非常的重要。
If He did not remain unchanged,
如果他不是永不改变的话，
we could not trust in Him.
我们就不能够信靠他了。
If He's good today,
如果他今天对我们很好，
He might not be good tomorrow.
明天也许不好了；
If He's all powerful
如
today,
果他今天无所不能，
He might not be all powerful
明
tomorrow.
天也许他不是无所不能了。
Now, do you see how important this doctrine is?
你看到没有？这个教义是何等的重要，
That He is eternal
就是它是永恒的，
and He is immutable.
而且它是不变的。
Now, another thing that I want you to see that's very important.
还有一件事，我让你看到非常重要啊，
The eternity of God
神的永恒性
does not simply mean that He's lived for an infinite number of years.
意思不是说他也总是活着，也无限的活着，不仅如此，
But that He is timeless.
乃是他是超越时间的。
You and I are subject to time.
你我都在时空的限制之中，
We see life as a consecutive point-to-point progression.
我们看到生命是一步又一步的在渐进的。
We are 1 year old,
我们1岁、
2 years old.
2岁，
We grow to be 30 years
我们
old.
长到30岁。
And we're in the fullness of our strength.
我们30岁的时候是最黄金年华、最
And then
最有力气的时候。
Then we're 40 years
然后
old.
40岁，
And we begin to
我们
decline.
就开始走下坡路了。
And we're 90 years old.
90岁的时候，
And we can barely walk.
我们就走不动了。
That's not how God is.
神并非如此啊！
Although God works through time,
尽管神借着时间在运作，
and God created time,
神也创造了时间，
He is not subject to
但是
time.
他却不受时间的限制，
It has no bearing on Him.
时间对他没有影响。
Now, another thing about God being eternal,
还有一件关乎神的永恒性啊，
this is an attribute that belongs to God alone.
这个永恒性是单单属于神的属性。
You and I had a moment, we had a time when we were not, and we have a time that we are.
你我呢，都有一段时间我们是不存在的，然后又有一段时间我们就出现了，存在了。
And even though the human soul will exist in the future forever,
尽管人的灵魂会永远存在下去，
it is not eternal in the same sense that God is.
但是人的灵魂的永恒跟神的永恒性是不一样的，
We had a
因
beginning.
为我们有一个开始，
He did not have a beginning.
而上帝却是无始无终的。
Another thing that you must
还
understand
有一件事情要你明白了，
is that our existence,
就是我们的存在啊，
even throughout eternity,
尽管在永恒里的存在，
is not independent.
不是独立的，
It depends upon God.
我们必须要依靠上帝才能够存在。
But God's existence depends upon no one.
而神的存在却不是依靠任何其他东西的，
He is self-sufficient.
因为他本身就是自给自
He
足的，
has no need.
他没有别的需要，没有任何需要。
All right, now,
好，
I want us to go on and I want us to look at some scriptures
好，我们继续
that
看
refer
一
to
些经文
the
啊，
eternity of God.
讲到神的永恒性。
Let's look at Exodus
看出埃及
3:14.
记3章14节，出埃及。
We'll see one of the most powerful self-disclosures of God in the Bible.
看到圣经里头神对自己的自我启示的一个最伟大的一个最雄伟的自我启示。
In Exodus 3:14, God said to Moses, I am who I am.
3章14节，神对摩西说：“我就是那自由拥有的神。”
Now, there are months of lectures
我可以
in this simple statement.
这一句话，我就可以讲好几个月都讲不完。
Let's review some of the things that we've learned in past classes.
我们先复习一下我们前面的几堂课所学到的。
God comes to Moses,
好，神来到摩西面前，
and he's sending Moses back to Egypt in order to deliver the people from bondage.
他要打发摩西回到埃及，要把他的百姓从奴役之下解放出来。
And Moses responds with a very practical question.
摩西就讲了一个很切合实际的问题啊，
Who should I say is sending me?
我应该告诉他们谁打发我到这来呢？
You see, Israel had been in Egypt for centuries.
以色列在埃及已经好几百年了，
And Egypt had a multitude of gods.
埃及有许许多多的神明，
The people of Israel were quite confused.
所以以色列人都有点混乱了，搞不清了。
Moses comes and says, God sent me.
现在摩西来说，上帝差遣我来，
They would have something of an idea what he was talking about.
所以他们应该明白，摩西到底在讲什么，应该有一些概念啊，
Because they were children of Abraham.
因为他们是亚伯拉罕的后裔，
They had heard the stories.
他们曾经听过从前的故事，
And they believed that there was one true
他
God.
们相信只有一位独一的真神。
But clarification was necessary.
但是摩西需要把它讲明白、讲清楚，
So God says, Moses says, who's sending me?
所以 摩西就说：“那我跟他们讲，谁打发我，应该怎么讲？”
And God says,
神说
I am
我
is sending you.
我这个自由拥有的打发你来。
I am who I am.
我就是我。
Now what does this mean?
什么意思啊？
It means so much.
这个意义深长，
So many things.
这个意义深远。
First of all, it separates God from everyone else that's in creation.
首先呢，这句话把神和所有的所造之物都分别开来了。
Let me give you an example.
让我给你个例子啊，
Let's say that
譬如
a Martian came down to Toronto,
如果马星
an alien.
就是那个外星人来到多伦多，
I understand that there are many already here.
我知道现在已经有很多外星人了。
But let's say that there's a Martian that comes down to Toronto
好，譬如有个外星人来到多伦多，
and he comes and talks to me
他来跟我讲话，
and he says, "Who are you?"
他说：“你是谁呀？”
Well, I can point to 7 billion other people and say, I am like him, I am like her.
指向7亿跟我差不多的同类的，我说我就像他们一样。
If you want to know who I
你
am,
要知道我是谁的话，
just look around.
你看看周围的人，你就知道。
We may all be somewhat different, but in reality, we're all the same, 7 billion of us.
我们也许有一些大同小异的地方，但是至少我们都是同类的，有7亿。
But when Moses
70亿，对不起，go ahead。
When Moses asked God, "Who are you?"
但是当摩西问上帝你是谁的时候，
God could not point to the other gods in Egypt and say, "I'm like them."
神不能够指向埃及的这些神明说，我跟这些神明差不多。不，
He couldn't point to a certain man that was a powerful leader and say, "I'm like him."
他不能够指向任何一个人，哪一个什么大将军啊、帝王说我像他一样。不，
He couldn't even point to an archangel and say, "I'm like him."
他甚至不能够指向一个天使长说，我跟天使差不多。不，
God could only point to himself.
神只能够指向自己，
I am who I am.
我就是我，
There's no one else like me.
没有任何人可以像我一样，
There is none holy like the Lord.
没有人像我一样的圣洁。
And remember what we studied yesterday.
你记得我们昨天查考的吗？
That is the meaning of holiness.
这就是圣洁的定义了，
That he is separate.
就是它是分别
He
的，
is unique.
它是独一、出类拔萃、独一无二的，
There is none like him.
除他以外没有一个像他。
Remember the illustration from R.C. Sproul.
你记得我们讲到那个R.C. Sproul 那个神学家的例子，
What is more like God?
什么更像神？
An archangel
是天使长呢，
or a worm?
还是小毛虫呢？
The answer is
答案是
neither one of them.
两个都不像神，
There's no one like God.
没有任何像他。他出类拔
Now, I don't know about you,
我不知道你啊，
but that gives me a lot of encouragement.
但这个事实给我很大的安慰和鼓励。
I would hate to think that God was like me,
如果神跟我一样，我可受不了。
and I would hate to think he's like you.
我跟你一样，我也受不了。
And I would hate to think that he was like the greatest archangels.
就算他跟最伟大的天使长一样，我也忍受不了，
Because angels can fall.
因为天使可能会堕落、犯罪哦。
But there's no one like him.
但是没有任何人可以与他相比的。
Now this text,
好，这一段经文，
I am who I am,
我是自由拥有的，我就是我，
also indicates that God's immutable.
也显明了神的不变性。
He doesn't say,
他没有说
I was a certain way,
我从前是怎么样，
but I'm a different way now,
如今我不一样了，不，
and I will be different in the future.
将来我还会进步。没有，
He says, I
他
am.
说我是，
I always
现
am.
在是，我总是这样，永
I'm
不改
always
变
the。same.
我昨日今日永不改变。
Also, this text indicates the eternity of God.
同时，这段经文也写明了神的永恒性。
In what way?
怎么写明它的永恒性呢？
And this is an amazing truth.
这是一个叫人惊讶的事实啊！
God simply is.
神就是，现在是，
He is.
他总是这样，
Now,
自由永
that
远。
doesn't sound too amazing,
这听起来没什么大不了
but I want you to think about this.
但我要你好好想想啊！
In order for you to exist,
你要存在的话，
you are dependent upon so many things.
你必须要依靠很多的东西才能存在。
You are dependent upon your life coming from another, that is God.
你的生命必须依靠另一个赐给你生命，就依靠神。
And if God were to give the order, you would cease to be.
如果神吩咐你停止的话，你就停止存在。
But God is.
但神本身就是自
His
由拥有，
existence is not dependent upon anyone else.
他的存在不在乎其他任何的事实存在的事实。
But also,
而且
you must will to exist.
你必须愿意存在，
It's an ongoing decision you must make.
这是你必须不断做的一个决定。
You also must work to exist.
而且你必须要付代价，你要劳动才能存在。
You must breathe.
你必须要呼吸，
You must eat.
你必须吃饭，
You must drink
你
water.
必须喝水，
You have to put forth effort in order to
你
exist.
必须付出一些代价才能够继续存在下去。
God does not have to decide to exist.
而神没有必要做这样的决定才能够存在，
He simply is.
他就是自由拥有，他就存在。
God does not have to put forth any effort to exist.
没有必要付任何代价，花什么气力才存在得了。
He is.
他就是，他就存在。
Now,
好，
existence
好，存在
is not one of your attributes,
不是你的一个属性，
but existence is one of God's
但是
attributes.
存在本身就是神的一个属性。
It is who He is.
它本身就存在，它就
He
是，
exists,
它存在，它存在的本
and
体，
He can do nothing other than exist.
它必须存在，它就是神，
And He requires nothing to exist.
它也不需要别的东西帮助它才能
He
存在，
has to put forth no effort.
它没有必要做什么事情付出代价才存在，
He
它
is.
本身就是存在的本体。
Now let's look at Isaiah 40:28.
再看看以赛亚书40章28节。以赛亚40章28节。
Let's read in verse 28 through 31.
到31节。
Do you not know, have you not heard, the everlasting God, the Lord, the creator of the ends of the earth, does not become weary or tired. His understanding is inscrutable. He gives strength to the weary, and to him who lacks might he increases power. Though youths grow weary and tired, and vigorous young men stumble badly, yet those who wait for the Lord will gain new strength. They will mount up with wings like eagles. They will run and not get tired. They will walk and not become weary.
你岂不曾知道吗？你岂不曾听见吗？永在的神耶和华，他是创造地极的主，并不疲乏，也不困倦。他的智慧无法测度，疲乏的他赐能力，软弱的他加力量。就少年人也要疲乏困倦，强壮的也必全然跌倒。但那等候耶和华的必重新得力，他们必如鹰展翅上腾，他们奔跑却不疲困倦，行走却不疲乏。
Have you ever asked a question,
你曾经问过这个问题吗？
and then someone says something really annoying to you?
然后有人就会说一些叫你很烦躁的。
You ask the question,
你问，
and they say this,
他们回答说
Didn't you know?
你岂不知道吗？
It makes you so mad.
你听到了你就不高兴，对不对？
But God does that a lot
但神总是这么
in
常常
the
地
Old
做。
and New Testament.
在不管是新约还是旧约，
Because there are some things we should know.
因为有些事我们应该知道，
We should know them.
我们应该明白。
And when we don't know them,
当我们不明白的时候，
it not only hurts our walk with God,
不仅仅影响我们跟神的关系，
but it limits our ability to glorify Him.
而且也限制我们荣耀他的能力。
Look at verse 27.
你看27节。
Why do you say, O Jacob, and assert, O Israel, my way is hidden from the Lord, and the justice due me escapes the notice of my God?
雅各啊，你为何说我的道路向耶和华隐藏？以色列啊，你为何言我的冤枉，我的冤屈神并不查问？
Israel's going through a bad time.
以色列正在经历一些患难。
And they've begun to think that God simply doesn't know.
他们开始就以为神不知道他们所经历的，
That God doesn't notice.
神没有注意到这
He
些事，
doesn't see what's happening.
他不知道发生了什么事儿。
And so the response is, do you not know?
所以神的回应是28节，你岂不曾知道吗
Have？you never heard?
你岂不曾听见吗？你
The everlasting God, the Lord, the creator of the earth, does not become weary or tired.
那永在的神耶和华创造地极的主，并不疲乏，也不困倦，他的智慧无法测度。
Now the prophet is responding to them.
先知在回应他们，
He's saying, you should know better than to think something like that.
你应该明白，你应该知道啊！你
You know, sometimes Christians will say stuff in their doubt and self-pity.
你知道，基督徒在他们的自哀自怜跟怀疑当中会说一些话，
Like, I just think God's left me.
我想神离开我了，
Or God's promises just aren't coming true in my life.
神在我身上的应许不会实现啦。
Or doesn't God see what I'm going through?
难道神没有看到我所经历的吗？
And sometimes you know when you say that, you know what you need to hear?
你知道，当你说这些话的时候，你需要听什么话吗？
You don't need the pity from somebody.
你不需要别人对你的可怜，
You need to hear this.
你需要听的是，
You know better than to talk that way.
你该知道，你怎么不知道呢？你
And that's basically what's going on here.
这里就是基本上就是这
Now
样的
he's
回答
going to give proof
好，神要给他们证明了
as to why they are wrong.
为什么他们的反应是错误的。
He says, first of all,
首先，
God is the everlasting God.
好，神是那永在的神耶和华，
He hasn't ceased to exist.
他从来没有停止存在过，
He hasn't changed.
他永远不会改变。
Even though you're going through this suffering right now,
尽管你现在正在经历患难，
know that He is the everlasting God.
你要知道他是那永在的神，
And therefore He knows.
因此他知道你所经历的，
Also, He is the Lord.
而且他是主，
He is the Lord over all things.
他是创造地极的主，主宰万有的主。
Don't think that God knows what's going on but has no power to change it.
不要认为神知道所发生的事情，但没有能力改变。不，
He is the Lord.
他是主，
The Lord of what?
他是什么的主呢？
It says He's the creator of the ends of the earth.
他是创造地极的主，
He's Lord of all.
他是万有的主宰，
And He is powerful over all.
而且他有能力主宰万有。
And therefore,
因此，
He does not become wearied or
他
tired.
并不疲乏，也不困倦，
And His understanding is inscrutable.
他的智慧也无法测度。
When we begin to doubt God's concern for us,
当我们开始怀疑神对我们的关爱的时候，
when we begin to doubt whether or not God knows what we're going through,
当我们开始怀疑神知不知道我们所经历的这一切的时候，
what do we need to hear?
我们需要听到什么话？
We need to hear about His attributes.
我们需要听见他的属性，
We need to be told once again who He is.
我们需要再一次听到到底他是
He
谁。
is the eternal God.
他是那永在的神耶和华，
He does not cease to exist.
他不会停止存在，
He does not change.
他也永不改变，
He does not grow weary.
他也不会疲乏，
And there is nothing beyond His understanding.
他的智慧也无法测度。
Now let me share with you something.
好，让我跟你分享一些事啊。
When most people are going through trials that they don't understand,
当大多数这些人经历一些自己无法明白的考验、试炼的时候，
what do they usually say?
他们通常会说什么话？
What is happening to me?
到底在我身上发生什么事儿？
Why is this happening
为什么
to
这些
me?
事会发生在我身上呢？
And the only way they can find peace is to get an answer for what's happening to them.
OK，sorry，
Let me start again.
Yeah, do it again.
Okay. When most people are going through,
the last sentence.
it's important that I go.
Okay.
Let's just start again.
OK， 再来一次，对不起。
Yesterday he translated 8 sermons.
昨天我翻译了8篇道啊，今天，对不起。
So both of us are
所以
tired.
我们两个都很疲倦。
When someone is going through a trial,
当一个人经历患难的时候，
they usually ask questions.
他们通常会问问题，对不对？
Why is this happening?
为什么这些事发生？
Why is this happening to me?
为什么发生在我身上啊？
What is the answer?
那答案是什么呢？
And it seems that the only way they can find peace is to get an answer.
似乎他们唯一能够得到平安的途径是找到答案才有平安。
I must have an answer.
必须有个答案。
Why is my husband still unconverted?
为什么我老公还没得救？
I must have an answer.
我必须有个答案。
Why is my child dying?
为什么我的孩子要死掉？
I must have an answer. Why is there injustice in the
为什
world?
么世上不公平的事儿？我要有答案。
For the most part, we're never given an answer.
但在大多数情况下，我们永远没有答案。
At least in the Bible.
至少圣经里没有给你答案。
So a lot of times the pastors will just make up answers.
往往的牧师呢会发明个答案给你，
And that's no good.
那不够啊，没用。
Here's what I want you to know.
我要你明白的是，让你知道的是，
If I know who God is,
如果我知道神是什么样的神的时候，
I don't have to know what He's doing.
我就没必要知道他做的为什么做这些事，
Because I can simply trust in Him when there are no
因
answers.
为就算没有答案，我也可以单单的信靠他就够了。
There is a dear brother who works with me at Heart Cry.
在我们的新生会里头有一个亲爱的弟兄，他是我同工啊，
He's one of the most faithful men I know.
他是我所认识人中最忠心的一个。
If he came into my office
如果他来到我的办公室，
and he said, "Give me the keys to your
他
truck,"
说：“哎，把你的大卡车的钥匙给我。”
I wouldn't ask him why.
我不会问他为什么，
I would just give him the keys.
我毫不犹豫就给他我的钥匙。
I don't need to know why
我没必要知道为什么要，
because I know who he
因为
is.
我知道他是什么样的人。
One of the most faithful men I've ever known.
这是我所认识人当中最忠心的一个。
So I know whatever he does with my truck
所以不管他怎么样子对待我的大卡车，
is going to be good.
都是件好事儿，一定。
Listen to me.
好，请听啊。
Those of you who are pastors and those of you who are not.
不管你们当中是牧者还是传道人还是平信徒也好，
Do you know why Christians always want to know why?
你知道为什么基督徒总想知道为什么？
It's because they really don't know who God is.
因为他们不知道神是什么样的神，
And so a lot of times when they ask questions,
所以往往当他们问问题的时候，
pastors will just make up answers
牧师就会发明一些答案给他们，
instead of pointing them to God's attributes.
却没有把信徒带到神的面前，看看神是什么样的属性，什么样的神。
I can't tell you how many times I've said this.
我不能告诉你多少次我曾经说过这样的话。
I don't know why your child just died,
我不知道为什么你的孩子刚刚死掉，
but I know who God is.
但是我知道神是什么样的神，
And I know that He is righteous.
我知道他是公义的，
And I know that none of His works are false.
我知道他所做的一切没有虚假的，
And so you can trust in Him.
所以你可以信靠他。
I can't give you an answer,
我不能给你个答案，
but I can tell you about God
但是我可以告诉你神是什么样的神，
so that you can rest in His character.
好叫你可以信靠他的属性。
Most people really can't rest in the character of God
大多数人都不能够信靠神的本性，
because they don't know much about His character,
因为他们对神的认识很肤浅，不知道
because it's
他是什么样的神
rarely taught.
因为教会里头很少有这样的教导。
I will oftentimes ask pastors,
我会常常问这些牧师，
how many years have you spent teaching your people the attributes of
你
God?
花多少年时间教导你的羊群有关神的属性？
And many of them have never even preached a sermon on the attributes.
很多传道人甚至从来没有讲过一篇道关于神的属性。
Maybe if we preached more about God,
也许我们更多讲论神的时候，
people would be less excited about material prosperity.
那信徒就不会那么对物质的成功发达这么兴奋了。
Now I want us to go on. Let's look at this
我们继续
text.
看看这段经文啊。
Because he is eternal,
因为他是永恒的，
he always knows.
所以他总是知道一切。
Because he is eternal,
因为他是永在的神，
he never grows weary,
他并不疲乏，永不困倦，
and he never becomes tired.
而且他永远不会累。
I have heard evangelical preachers say this.
我曾经听过福音派的一些传道人曾经说，
At least a couple of them.
至少其中几个
On Mother's Day,
在母亲节的时候，
God couldn't be everywhere,
神不可能无所不在，
and God couldn't do everything,
神也不可能无所不能，
so he created mothers.
所以神创造了妈妈。
That's blasphemy.
这是亵渎啊，知道吗？
God is eternal.
神是永在的，
He does not grow weary
他永不疲乏，
or tired,
并不困倦，
and he does not need mothers,
他也不需要妈妈，
and he doesn't need
他
fathers,
也不需要爸爸，
and he doesn't need
他
pastors,
也不需要牧师，
and he doesn't need
他
preachers.
也不需要传道
He
人，
doesn't need anything.
他谁都不需要。
Do you see that?
看到没有？
And because he is eternal,
因为他是永在的，
because he is all strong.
因为他是无所不能的。
Look what it says in verse 29.
看29节说什么？
He can give strength to the weary.
所以疲乏的他赐能力，
And to him who lacks might, he increases power.
所以软弱的他加力量。
Now I want you to look at that.
好，你看看，注意看这里啊
Do，you become weary?
你会不会疲乏？
Do you become spiritually
你
weary?
会不会灵里头也会疲乏？
Do you become tired?
你会不会困倦？
Yes, you do.
当然，你我都会，
And so do I.
我也会。
What's the answer?
那答案是什么呢？
God.
神，
God.
神是答案，
Not a program in the church.
不是教会里多一个节目，
Not an activity.
不是多一个活动，
God.
神是答案。
I love my pastor.
我爱我教会的牧师啊，
I love my pastor
我爱我的牧者，
because he has only one purpose.
因为他只有一个目的，
Take all the people to God.
把所有的百姓带到神面前。
He gives us nothing
他除此以外，他不给我们别的东西，
but Christ and the Word.
只给我们基督和基督的话。
If you're looking for anything else,
如果你除他以外，你要找别的东西的话，
don't come to our church.
别来我们教会，
You won't like it.
你不会喜欢我们教会的。
What is the great need of the people, he says?
神的百姓的最大的需要是什么？
That
他说
they know God.
好叫他们认识神，
And that in every trial they run to God.
在所有的困难患难中奔向神，
And that they worship God.
好叫他们敬拜神。
And when they're tired, they go to God
当他们疲倦的时候，来到神面前，
and not to man.
不是来到人面前。
Only he has the power to do this.
唯有他有这样的能力。
Look at verse 30.
再看30节，
Though youths grow weary and tired, and vigorous young men stumble badly.
就是少年人也要疲乏困倦，强壮的也必全然跌倒。
He takes the two strongest, most energetic categories of humanity.
他把人类当中最强壮的、最有精力的两类人拿出来，
Young men
就是少年的
Youths
和强壮的青年人。
in most cultures have so much energy.
在大多数的文化里，年轻人都是精力充沛。
Now, I can't really say that in our culture today,
今天我们这个文化我就难讲了，
because young men by and large don't have a lot of energy
因为大多数年轻人没什么精力，总是
because they just sit around and play video games.
成天就玩游戏。
But in most cultures,
但是大多数的文化当
if you're
中，
looking for energy,
如果你要找精力的话
you，don't look in 80-year-old men.
你不在80岁老头身上找到精
You
力，
look at 18-year-old
你
men
看的是18岁的年轻
and
人，
you see energy.
你看到有精力。
But God is saying even in them,
但神说，甚至在少年人身上，
in the
在
strongest,
最强壮的人身
they
上，
grow weary and tired,
他们会疲乏，会困倦，会
and
跌
they
倒，
stumble badly.
他们也会全然跌倒。
Same can be said for ministers.
传道人也是这样，对不对？
They're the ones that are called to study the Bible day in and day out,
神呼召传道人昼夜思想他的话语，研究圣经，
and to pray.
去祷告啊。
And so you would think that we would have such
所
energy.
以你认为我们就是精力充沛的人，
But
但是
even the most energetic of godly men stumble and grows tired.
就算是最敬虔的、最有精力的，也会疲倦，也会困乏。
What's the answer?
答案在哪里？
Look to the eternal God.
仰望那永
Look to
恒
the
的神，
eternal God.
仰望那永在的耶和华。
Look at verse 31.
看看31节。
Yet those who wait for the Lord will gain new strength.
但那等候耶和华的必重新得力，
They will mount up with wings like
他们
eagles.
必如鹰展翅上腾，
They will run and not get
他
tired.
们奔跑却不困倦，
They will walk and not
他
become
们
weary.
行走却不疲乏。
Sometimes when I go hunting,
当我去打猎的时候，
get up at 3 in the morning.
清早3点起床，
It's very, very dark.
非常一片漆黑啊。
And I'm making my way through the woods without a light
我在森林里头没有任何的亮光，我在那儿行走摸索，
because I don't want anything to see me.
因为我不要任何人看到我。
And I'm going through there,
我经历那个丛林，经过
very
丛林
dark
很黑的丛林，
a lot of wild animals.
有很多野兽，
So you have to be looking all the time.
所以你必须谨慎警醒。
You know what's one of the most horrible things to happen to you?
你知道这个时候最可怕可能发生了什么事？
You're listening for every sound.
你在听一切的声音，
And all of a sudden you walk into a flock of birds that are sleeping on the ground.
你突然踩到一个在地上的睡觉的鸟巢的身
When
上。
they take off,
当它们飞起来的时候，
it sounds like a helicopter.
就像一个直升机一样。
And honestly, you think you've just been abducted by aliens or something.
真的，你以为你被那外星人给绑架了一样，
It will scare you to death.
会把你吓得半死。
But then also there's this huge bird in this one place where I hunt.
而且在这个有个地方，我在要去打猎的地方有一只大
And
鸟，
its wingspan is like this.
它的翅膀的长度有那么长。
When it takes off,
当它起飞的时候，
you literally almost die of a heart attack.
你差点是心脏病死掉，
The
吓死。
force of the wings are incredible.
哇，它那个翅膀的力量大得吓人。
Also, if you hunt turkey,
而且呢，当你打那个火鸡的时候，打
which
猎打火
sometimes
鸡，
I do,
有时候我猎火鸡哦，
and you make the mistake of grabbing one that isn't dead yet,
你不小心抓到一只还没有死掉的火鸡，
he will take his wings and almost beat you to death.
它会差点把你打死，动起翅膀来。
I come back to the house,
我回到我房子，
scratches all over me.
他就抓我抓的一塌糊涂。
My wife says, "What happened?"
我妻子说咋回事儿？
I got beat up by a bird.
我说我被一只鸟给打得半死。
In this illustration, they will mount up with wings like eagles.
这里头讲到，他们必如鹰展翅
They
上
will run and not get
他
tired.
们奔跑却不困倦。
Remember the prophet who ran
你记得那个
and outran the chariot.
跑步的那个先知，他比马车
They will
跑得更快，
They will walk and not be weary.
他行走却不疲乏。
You see, when I know that God is eternal,
我知道当我知道神是永恒的，
when I know that He doesn't change,
当我知道他是不改变的，
when I know that He possesses all power,
当我知道他拥有一切的能力，
and when I know that He's willing to give strength to me,
当我知道他愿意把他的力量加在我身上的时候，
then what do I do?
我就做什么？
Wait for the Lord.
我就等候耶和华了，
Wait for the Lord.
等候他。
You lack wisdom?
你缺乏智慧吗？
Wait for the Lord.
等候耶和华，
Get in His Word.
你要进入他的话语中，
Sit before Him with the Bible on your knees and read it.
坐在他面前，在你的膝盖上捧一本圣经，好好的读圣经。
You lack strength?
你缺乏力量吗？
Pray.
祷告。
be before the Lord.
在神的面前做。
It was the mark of men of God in the past.
这是过去属神的人的一个标记。
That they spent the greater part of their time alone with the Lord.
他们花大部分的时间单独在神的面前。
Now they look like businessmen.
现在传道人就像搞事业生意人一样，
And spend almost no time with the Lord.
几乎不花时间坐在神面前。
You see, this is why the doctrine of eternity is so very, very important.
所以永恒性这个教义是如此的重要。
Now we're going to take a small break,
好，
and
我
then
们
we're
稍微
going to
休息一会儿，然后
return to Daniel chapter 7.
我们要回到但以理书第7章，回到
Let's pray.
我们先祷告。
Please visit our website at heartcrymissionary.com. There you will find information about the ministry, our purpose, beliefs and methodologies, and extensive information about the missionaries we are privileged to serve.